Pioneer Disc Golf. I'm Mark, and today I'm going to be playing the short but technical East Frankfort Park. In total, there are 24 holes in this course. There's 1 through 12, then there's A through E, and then there's 13 through 18. And I will be playing every single hole this round. I'm going to break this video into 2 parts. Right now, you're watching the front 12, and I'll post the back 12 in a separate video. Even with all 24 of those holes, this course is not even 6,000 feet long, so a ton of par 3s. But they're all pretty short holes. Most of them are wooded, which is my favorite type of disc golf. I played this course twice before, and both times I think I shot just barely over par. I think I was like +1, and then another time +2. My goal for today is simple. I just want to shoot par or better. It's 10 a.m., it's 29 degrees. It's time to play some disc golf. All right, we're staring straight into the sun, but hole 1 is 243 feet. It's basically straight ahead. Bunch of trees in the way, slightly small gap to get through off the tee. Got to cross that little tiny creek down there, and then go slightly uphill. As long as you get a decent little drive out there, you should be able to at least chip up and get a 3, or if you have a really good drive, you can get a 2. I'm gonna take my origin off the tee, basically to try to get it straight ahead through the gap to the left. Try to push up to the green, get a 2. And by that I meant get about halfway up the fairway. All right, not too bad. There's the lie. Basket's like 60 feet uphill. I'm just gonna throw a little P2 up there. Look like ended just a little bit deep. Probably have about a 12-footer coming up. All right, that was a solid par to get. Had a little tester putt. It was actually ended up being about more like 15 feet. I hate having a 15-footer on hole 1, but it does feel really good to step up, take your time, knock down a putt on hole 1. Gives you a lot of confidence going into the rest of your round. All right, now we're on hole 2. As you can see, it's a very tight gap to get through. Got to get slightly downhill through the gap, try to avoid hitting those trees, get off a little bit to the right. Then there's your basket kind of up on that little elevated area. I want to take my iron Samurai 4 on a 4-hand line, try to get through the gap, get right by the basket. And I could be wrong, but I think I need to throw behind this line. There's all this extra area up here in the tee box, but I'm pretty sure that line right there designates where you need to throw from, so I'm going to stay behind that line for my throw. Didn't quite give it enough, didn't fully commit, hit a tree about halfway down the fairway again. There's the lie, there's the basket. I'm probably about 80 feet away. I'm gonna try to hit the slightly wider gap with the same disc, same line, just try to get a little forehand up there. Yeah, that'll work just fine. I got pretty close up there. Little bit of work left to go to get my par. All right, on to hole number 3, 200 feet, another short one. Basically, same kind of line. Need to take a little forehand off the tee, get over the creek, get off to the right, try to get a 2. Iron Samurai again. Well, some days you get tree love, and some days you don't. Not the best kick. Thought I hit the line really well, clearly. Pushed it a little bit long. Did get over the creek though. Not having a ton of luck off the tee today. Just keep hitting trees, how it goes. Probably still 50 feet to go. Let's take my tactic on a little flex line. Super uneventful start, but I'll take it. Par, par, par. Haven't really done a good job getting off the tee cleanly. That's actually why I love courses like this. You get rewarded for really good tee shots. Obviously, you can get lucky, but if you hit your line just right, you're gonna get rewarded with a pretty solid look at the 2. But if you're missing lines and hitting trees early like me, then you're not. You're gonna get pars. If you get horrible kicks and awful rollaways, then you could get bogeys. Okay, on to hole 4, gotta throw it over the road, and then basically it's just right there wide open. It's 233 feet, par 3. I'm gonna try the Taylor for this because it's just a little farther than I'm super comfortable throwing putters, but I don't think I need anything like an MD3 or higher than that, so let's try the Taylor. A little high. Go. Sit. A little deep, but I finally managed to not hit a tree off the tee. To be fair, this hole is pretty wide open, so that would have been pretty impressive if I was able to hit a tree on a hole like this. Oh yeah, there's my lie. Ended up deep, not very good. I am dry though, which is nice. Might have a little gap to get up to there to the basket. There's this stuff right in the way. No way. Gotta lay it up. There's too much stuff in the way. Well, another par due to a not so great drive. I ended up deep and below the basket with a bunch of stuff in my way, so I didn't have a clean look to the basket. I do still have 20 holes to go, so it's no big deal, but I'd love to get warmed up here pretty soon. Get a good drive off the tee. All right, on to hole 5. Pretty wide open, 182 feet, pretty short. Again, as long as you get a good tee shot, you're gonna set yourself up for the 2, so I need to execute this right now. Gonna go nice and slow, nice and smooth, P2 on a hyzer, flip up, gonna park this one. That'll work. All right, good timing for that. That was definitely my best drive so far. Did exactly what I was trying to do off the tee. Maybe threw it a tiny bit low, but I got solid ground action. I was basically able to slide straight forward and put myself literally right below the basket. Whew. All right, before we move on to hole 6, I kind of realized something. I pretty much only throw Discmania, Innova, and Dynamic discs. The only disc that I have outside of those 3 brands is the Paradox, and I believe that that is an Axiom disc. My question to you is, am I missing out on any discs from other brands? If you've watched any of my other videos, you know my skill level and you know the discs that I have in my bag. And if you notice any disc from another brand that I don't already throw that I would get good use out of, definitely let me know down in the comment section. I feel like overall I have a pretty well-rounded bag, but what do I know? But all right, on to hole 6. It's gonna be 256 feet, another little short par 3. Goes off a little bit forward into that open fairway, and then you need to get off a little bit to the right. Practically no danger or anything you need to worry about on the left aside from that first little batch of trees. On the right, you do have a somewhat thick tree line that you need to avoid. From the tee pad, the hole is blind, so I'm gonna move you guys out a little bit further. That way you can kind of see me throwing and hopefully see where the disc lands. Okay, I'm gonna try my origin, basically throw it nice and smooth on a flat line, try to get it to push up pretty far and then start to turn off to the right near the basket. Didn't really turn that all that much. Basically ended up straight, but I think I'm gonna have about a 25 footer, maybe 30 footer. I should be close to the circle. All right, there's a lie, there's a basket. I don't think I'm actually in circle 1. I'm definitely sure that's circle 2, probably 35 to 40 feet. So let's try a step putt. I don't even know if jump putting like that gives me any extra power. I feel like I'm almost better off just stepping up and actually putting it like normal. I say that because I basically always put those low. Not playing great today, but through 6 I'm -1, so I can't really complain all that much. But on to hole 7, this is the longest hole so far. Par 3, 366 feet. You need to get through that pretty wide open fairway, and then you need to get right. Basket's kind of up there in a slightly protected green, but overall, if you get something pretty far up there, kind of pushing towards that tree line, should have no issue taking a par. I'm gonna try my escape off the tee, try to get about 300 feet up there. I don't think I'll be taking a 2 on this hole. That's fine. I'm planning to set myself up for a nice wide open approach to the basket. Kind of realizing that I'm not throwing great tee shots this morning, I decided to throw a slightly slower speed disc, just my 9-speed escape right there. I think kind of realizing how you're playing throughout a round should start to kind of dictate how you continue to play. If I'm throwing these really far shots and really nice good power, then I probably would have chosen a Wraith right there. But since my tee shots have been pretty underwhelming so far this morning, I think it just kind of makes sense to not fight what's working. And what's working is that drive is pretty solid. Still got about 75 feet to go, but the basket's right there. It's wide open. I'm gonna throw my P2 right at the basket. Beautiful. So that was a really solid 3. I think I played the hole exactly how I wanted to. Knowing that I couldn't throw a huge drive out there, I just kind of played it smart. But Before we move on to hole 8, I want to show you guys my escape. It's got the LWS Open at Idlewild stamp on it. Got this disc at the Mount Airy Pro Shop for my birthday over the summer. My friends and I went up there and played Mount Airy one day, and then the next day we played Idlewild. And the Escape has been one of my absolute favorite fairway drivers for so long, and I saw this stamp and I was like, this is the coolest thing ever. Got it from the Natty Disc Golf. Just wanted to give them a little bit of shout out and give the Escape a little bit of a shout out. But hole 8 is going to be 190 feet and a slight little dog leg to the left. You've got a few different options to get down there. You can either kind of go straight at it and try to get a little bit lucky, or you can play a little bit of the hyzer play. There's that net over there off to the left of the basket that can help somewhat catch your disc in case you hyzer out, or if you catch edge and roll. Thinking the play for me is going to be the origin. Try to just press up straight through that middle gap. Hopefully I was off to the side enough so you could see that drive. Looked really good. I definitely hit the gap I was trying to. As long as I got good ground action, I should be parked. And yeah, looks to be excellent ground action. Slid up within the bullseye for sure. Let's knock this down for the 2. All right, taking a 2 on that felt good. I mean, obviously it's a pretty easy hole. It's 190 feet. Not a ton of stuff can go wrong and really derail you, but stepping up, knowing what I wanted to do and executing it perfectly, that feeling will never get old. That's what disc golf's all about. Obviously, you can get lucky breaks, especially on courses like this. You can miss your line and still end up parked. But I'm trying to improve my game, and doing that means picking a line and really consistently hitting it. But now on to hole number 9. This is a tricky one. This is 262 feet, but it's definitely a pretty big dog leg. You need to get relatively far forward, but then you got to get left in a hurry. And as you can see from the drone footage, the green is pretty treacherous. Catch the wrong edge and roll, you can definitely end up with a lot of work to do to come back and save your par, or you could get pinched off and have a tough look to even get up and down for bogey. I think what I'm going to do is throw my Iron Samurai on a nice high line, big hyzer, try to penetrate down there. Hopefully I don't hit a tree early and I can end up pretty nice. Well, hung that one way wider than I intended. Not a great throw. Let's see if I can get up and down. Still a lot of work to do. There's my lie. There's the basket. I'm going to take a tactic on a forehand chip shot line. Try to kind of flex it down there and land flat by the basket. Very slow, very smooth. Nice little anhyzer. Let the disc work back. Looks like I ended up a little bit deeper than I was looking for, but I don't think that that's that far. Hole 1 so far has really been the only tester putt that I've had, and I was able to knock that down, so I don't think this will be too much of an issue. All right, on to hole 10. I feel like I'm kind of flying through this round, but this is a cool hole, 269 feet. You got to definitely get straight through this gap, but then you got to get left, and then you got to have a nice little comeback to the right. So if you're right-handed, you have a nice, really overstable disc, you can throw it on a flex forehand line. You can definitely get up and down and get a birdie on this hole, but it's a very technical shot, requires a really accurate throw. Since I'm sitting at 2 down right now, I'm going to try to get a little bit risky. If it doesn't work out, I'm okay taking the bogey, willing to take the risk because of my score. If I do execute it, it'll be sick. I'm gonna try my DD1 on that forehand flex line. I haven't thrown it on the forehand yet, so I don't even know what it'll do. But as long as I get the angle right, I think it's stable enough to where it'll kind of go this way and then kind of pan back and end right. This could end poorly, but let's try it. Gave it a shot. It was starting to do a little bit of what I wanted it to do. I just hung it out a little bit too far to the right. The gap's just a little bit too tight for how wide I threw it. But hit off a tree leg, got a relatively favorable roll. I think I'll have no issue getting up and down. Well, scratch that. This actually wasn't very good at all. There's the lie. I gotta get, oh man. Oh no, this is a bad idea. I gotta get all the way back there. Pinched off for sure. Gonna really need to throw something well. Definite forehand again, little skip shot, but I'm just so pinched. I'll let you see from right behind the lie. You can just kind of see how pinched off that is. I really don't have an angle. Don't really have a choice though. I'm gonna go Iron Samurai on the forehand, hopefully get it close enough to make a putt. Don't roll. Oh, Tried to roll down that hill. All right, this for sure looks like my first true tester. Definitely gonna be a little bit further than hole 1. There's the lie, there's the basket. Set you up here so you can see both. Oh. Oh. Gotta really stretch. Oh. Just too pinched off. Tried the high risk, high reward play. It didn't work out. Not a big deal. I did still have a look, but I had to stretch out so far. I just had a little tree right in my way. Both of those lies off of my drive and my approach just were too obstructed. Had they even been slightly more open, I could have saved the par. But I'm still sitting at -1 through 10, so I'm not gonna complain. This hole's pretty cool. Little double mando right off the tee, 200 feet, pretty much straight. Gotta get a little bit left. Gonna throw something slightly stable, maybe my MD3. You know what? I'm gonna change that idea. The way that this Mando's designed, it's actually gonna shape up better for kind of a reach out, almost a standstill forehand. I'm gonna try my origin on that line. Yeah, I think that this kind of just makes more sense. If I can keep it relatively straight and get that turn off to the left, I think this will work better. Didn't really execute that all that well, but I think that just somewhat ended up shaping up better than what a backhand would have, just due to how pinched off you were running up and looking at that Mando. Ooh, I do think I have a little look for the outside too, though. Pretty sure I've yet to make a circle 2 putt since I started this channel, so now would be a cool time to do it. One day I'll make that circle 2 putt on this channel, but just not yet. All right, through 11 holes, I'm -1. I have absolutely no complaints. Didn't do a great job off the tee on this front 12, but I've done a good job for the most part after that, cleaning up with approaches and putting. 1 pars, 2 birdies, and 1 bogey. Overall, pretty solid. But let's finish this front 12 with a little birdie here on hole 12. It's 222 feet. Got to get straight, and then you got to get right. I think it shapes up for a forehand if you got it. I think I've got it. But if you don't have a forehand, you can throw a nice little turnover backhand or something a little flippy. Right now, I'm debating between an origin on a turnover line or my Iron Samurai forehand. The sun is absolutely blinding me. Sorry if my super pale white face is kind of ruining the shot. I think a forehand line is going to shape up best. I haven't done a great job turning my origin these past few attempts I've had with it. So let's go with the Samurai. I'm not necessarily trying to park this. I just want to be within the circle. That way I have an opportunity for the putt. Go. Go. Yeah. For a second, I thought it was just slightly short, but I think it got past that little bush. I think about 5% more power on that forehand line would have been perfect, but this should still be decent. Scratch that. This was solid. This is exactly what I wanted. Just got past all this little stuff. Nice lie. Cannot complain with that at all. Time to knock down a putt. Oh, no. I got so excited. I don't know why I did that. I just got so excited. Just threw it way too high. Kind of really went down a little bit too much and really just too up on the release. Hit right there on top of the cage. Just overall not a good putt. But there you have it. That wraps things up for the front 12. Ended -1. Got 12 more holes to go though, and I'm definitely getting warmed up. It's kind of getting a little bit hot. I don't have a shirt on underneath here besides this Under Armour. Kind of wish I had one so I could peel off this sweatshirt. But thank you so much for watching all the way until the end of this video. It really does mean a lot to me. Be sure to like this video, subscribe, all the other YouTube stuff. Anyways, see you on the back 12.